right. So it is 10 o'clock. We are through. I'm going to look at some of the people coming in. We actually had 100 and ended up being 140 something people who registered for this call. So thank you so much for showing interest in the ARC update and all that all the information we're trying to get out there. Okay, I'll continue to admit people in. We have, with the ARC of Ohio, we have different regions. And within our regions, we have regional directors. Most regions have a regional director, some don't quite yet, but we're working on some of that. But as we were originally looking at doing these separate regional updates where each regional director would have their own call and do all these things. And then we had a lot of people from other regions who would zoom into those, the region they're not a part of. And we thought, well, let's just make it all easy. Let's put it all together and let's do it all as one. And so that's what we do. So this is our very first time, and it'll happen it'll be the first Thursday of every month at 10 o'clock in the morning. We will do just this. And we're going to go through, we're talking a little bit about the ARC of Ohio updates, things that are happening on the state level for the ARC. And then we're going to talk about some federal public policy. We're going to talk about some state public policy. And then each regional director will go through and kind of talk about their own region and just different updates that we see. And I would also say that if you are part of an organization or part of a county board or whatever, and if you would like us, if you have like an event coming up or something that you would like for us to announce, we would send us a flyer, send us or some information about it, and we can certainly put that in this ARC update every month and help kind of get the word out a little bit and kind of connect with the families that we have on board. Okay. All right, so I'm looking through, I'm admitting a few more people here, and then we will jump right into it. Okay, all right, we're gonna go ahead and roll with it here. You should be able to see the screen that I am sharing. This is the PowerPoint that we are using. I'm gonna move some things around here. Okay, so we're first gonna talk about some of the ARC of Ohio updates. And one of the things that we are doing that is really, really cool. We actually, yesterday, we had the DD Awareness Day at the State House, and we were passing out shirts and all kinds of cool stuff. The thing was packed. It was really cool to see. It's kind of like this after the all COVID and all these different things. I know COVID's still going, but after all the shutdown and stuff, it's good to see people kind of come back, and kind of go back to those in-person things. So that was wonderful to see. And with that, the State House is beautiful. I mean, Kara and I, different ones, we were walking around taking pictures and all kinds of stuff. Always loved being at the State House. The parking was a little tough, but we made it through. But what we were doing is we're sponsoring 2 tours. I always have a hard time saying that, like 2 tours. Sounds like it's one word, 2 tours. The number 2 tours at the State House. That's going to happen a week from tomorrow. Have an option to tour at 11 and an option to tour at 1. And I'll be there, and I would love to walk through with you, and we'll have different ones who are touring tour guides with us to kind of show us all the different things. It's a beautiful place. Kind of hear a lot about the history and some basic civic things as well. And it'll be a wonderful opportunity. It's also a good time to just become familiar with with the State House. So as we go through and we try to put out there that we want people to testify at the State House, and we want people to empower your voice and those sort of things. But sometimes that State House feels like a very just overwhelming thing. Like, I'm going to go to the State House and do what? I mean, come on. So to go there and to be able to have a tour is a wonderful opportunity to just kind of get familiar with it and kind of make it not such an overwhelming thing, right? So we would love to have you come out. Again, these are free. You can get to this from our Facebook page. It's an Eventbrite thing, but you have to register. There's only 50 slots, so we encourage you to do so. And you can do 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, either one. Now, the next thing we have here is going to be the the ARC of Ohio Spring Conference. That's going to be happening on March the 28th. That is also on in downtown Columbus. Okay, so with the downtown Columbus, it's going to be at the Sheraton. Okay. So from 10 o'clock until 5 o'clock is when it's going to happen. Registration is going to start around 8:30, 9 o'clock. But if you would like to do this, you can visit our Facebook page. We are releasing all kinds of stuff about this today, and you'll be able to register to be a part of the conference. Okay. The Arc of Ohio Conference, we do a spring one, a fall one, and we do one in summer. But it's a day where there's a lot of different speakers that are coming in. The director's going to be there, different ones, and it'll be a wonderful, wonderful time. All right, the last one I have for the Arc of Ohio in general is going to be the podcast. Okay, so we actually we do have a podcast, and we do go through and we have different people come on board today. We just recorded a podcast even this morning that'll be released this afternoon. You can find that on Spotify and iTunes as well, on Apple, and you will be able to listen to all the good stuff. And Lindsay Althouse, who is one of our regional directors, she is one who is the co-host of that. And then Jen Powers Algie is going to be the other co-host. I've done it for a while. I'm going to step away, and those two. And when you hear how those two mesh, you're going to really like it. It'll be an awesome thing for sure. There you go. Now Lindsay's smiling and doing well. Okay. All right. Now what we're going to go through is we're going to go through some federal updates here. Okay. So Lindsay Althouse is a regional director. Okay. But she also does a few other things as well. I'm going to make it to where people can be able to share your video, because I'm going to need Jen and some of the other regional directors to be able to do so. But I would ask that, just keep your microphone muted and all that good stuff. So here we go. Let me do this. Here we go. So Lindsay can unmute, and she is here. And Lindsay Althouse is our Northwest Regional Director, but she also takes care of our federal public policy. So you have public policy, all the legislation and all that stuff. When you get down to Lindsay and Jen, like when you talk about legislation and rules, like their eyes, they love it, right? And some people are like, oh, man. But they are here for a wonderful reason, because they are amazing at this stuff. So Lindsay, take it away for our federal public policy updates.
Well, thank you. Like Josh said, I'm Lindsay, and just some quick federal updates for you. As of January, the new Congress started, and I'm not sure if you guys read headlines or saw anything, but Representative Kevin McCarthy finally became the Speaker of the House after multiple rounds of votes. On the Democratic side, Representative Hakeem Jeffries is now leading the Democrats as a House Minority Leader. There was a big change in the House, as you know, during the elections, where the Republicans have taken over and the Democrats are a little less. So the biggest issue right now in Congress is going to be the debt ceiling deadline. I actually have a meeting this afternoon to discuss the debt ceiling deadline and what that is going to look like. So be on the lookout for emails and different things as the info is made more aware to us. The House committee hearing on quality life adjusted years. On February 1st, the House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee on Health held a hearing which addressed the Protection of All Healthcare Patients Act. The legislation would ban all federal healthcare programs from using prices based on quality adjusted life years. Quality adjusted life years is saying that people with disabilities are a little less than people without disabilities. So their year and their life look a little different when it comes to insurance billing, is basically what that is. And the House committee has come back and said that that is discriminatory and that is not right, and you aren't allowed to do it. So the ARC National Office and obviously the ARC of Ohio are big fans of the fact that they are saying that. Yeah. The end of the public health emergency happens in May. So Appendix K. The administration announced plans to end the COVID-19 health emergency on May 11th. The end of the PHE will have a range of consequences for health programs, including Medicaid. For example, the Kaiser Family Foundation has noted that there are 39 states made use of the PHE waiver authority to allow family caregivers to be paid for providing Medicaid, home and community-based services. At the end of last year, Congress ended the continuous enrollment protections for Medicaid with eligibility redeterminations starting as early as the end of February. Millions of individuals are expected to lose coverage as a result. So if you are Medicaid and you were using it during the emergency, this is just your friendly reminder to check and make sure you're not going to lose services. And if it looks like you are, resubmit paperwork and let's continue those services for you. Introduction for the Better Care, Better Jobs Act and the HCBS expansion on January 26th. Senator Bob Casey and Representative Debbie Dingell reintroduced the Better Care, Better Jobs Act. It had failed in the House at the end of last year. It will provide a major increase in Medicaid funding to state that strengthen and expand access to Medicaid, home and community-based services and endure robust workforce for services through adequate payment rates. 40 senators have joined as co-sponsors. Today, over 650,000 are waiting on lists to have services. And the government feels like that isn't right. And so with the introduction of the Better Care, Better Jobs Act and the HCBS expansion, they're hoping to make that number a lot smaller because $13 an hour for direct care workers is not a payable wage. The SSI limits legislation, the next steps. The ARC is communicating with Senator Brown's office, and I'm not sure if people knew this, but Senator Brown and Senator Portman came together for this SSI limits legislation, and it was amazing because it was bipartisan. Bipartisan just means that both Republicans and Democrats agreed that we need this. Towards the end, Portman, as he was retiring, decided to go a different route, which is fine. But currently right now, Senator Brown's office is trying to find a Republican co-sponsor to keep this SSI limits legislation going for the future of everybody who is using Social Security. So if anybody wants to reach out to Vance's office and see if we can keep it as an Ohio-based bill, that would be really great. Thanks.
Yep.
And as always, as I wrap up, if you are looking for something that if you want to share your story, you feel like you have a very good testimony, or you want to email or talk to your congressman, woman, or senator, ActionTheArc.org can get you in contact with them on specific things.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it allow you to go to sign, kind of like what we're kind of doing on the state level as well. You can put your name there and it'll go right to the person either on the committee or to the person representing your U.S. representative or senator, and it's a wonderful way to. It's a wonderful yet very simplistic way to take action, for sure. Okay, so Lindsay, as I said, she coordinates our public policy efforts on a federal level, and then we have Jen Powers-Algie, who's been with us since, goodness, December, November, something like that. Hadn't been very long, but done a lot of amazing work, and she is now going to present our statewide updates. She does all of our coordinates our state public policy, and so yesterday was. Because she was in the State House and doing her thing, right? So welcome, Jen, and here we go.
Yeah, hi, everybody. I am excited to be with you all. I am down here in Southwest Ohio, so I live in Warren County, but I'm representing the ARC in my 8 counties down here, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the slides, but I'm happy to be here. I was excited that we had such a well-represented DD Advocacy Day yesterday up at the State House. For everybody who attended, thank you. Great speakers. The meetings were just so well attended. All of our reps heard our stories. I talked to a few afterwards, actually, because I went and sat in on a vote, and you were heard, your voices were heard. So thank you for showing up yesterday. We talked a lot yesterday about the DD crisis. This is the ARC's priority in the budget. So we are trying to make sure, like Lindsay said, we're trying to make sure that direct support professionals are making a living wage. So right now, there is a workforce crisis in general, so a lot of our retail and fast food companies are increasing their wages. And so we need to be competitive in paying people who care for the loved ones in our lives. This is such a important job, and we need to make sure that they're paid a living wage. So if you have a story to tell, please contact us. We want to make sure that we are talking about times in your life or someone in your family who's using services where they couldn't find a direct support professional, or you're having a different person come to your house every other day because people are not staying in those positions. We really want to make the point to our legislators that this is really important, and it's definitely beyond a crisis at this point. So we need to make sure that these investments are made. So I threw in the budget timeline. Okay, so this little slide is really nice from Policy Matters Ohio, kind of shows how the budget works in the state of Ohio. So the budget that's going to be in place starting July 1st is going to be a 2-year state budget, guys. So this is really important time right now to make sure that all of our programs for people with disabilities are funded for the next 2 years. So just so you know, the ARC's very involved in this. At the end of January, Governor DeWine proposed his budget. So what he thought was important. A lot of things that Governor DeWine wants do help our kids, especially children. He is very much wants to help youth with complex needs. The other thing that he put in the budget was he wants to make sure that at all of our county boards that we have a person who does receive services in the county, who has a developmental disability serving on the board. So those are great. And that took a lot of hard work for those two things for him to put in there. So we're seeing some nice things in the budget, but we want more. As always. So we would love to hear from you all so we can keep talking to our legislators, because right now, as you can see in the slide, from early February to early April, the House is going to have committee meetings and public testimony on the different programs that we need. So they'll have testimony, and last week they had it in the transportation department. Next week, they're going to have some hearings with DODD, and we're going to need some testimony here in the next month or so. So please come through for us. We're going to be testifying, obviously, as professionals, but we need families to come forward. And then, as you can see, then it goes over to the Senate, and hopefully they can take their 2 bills in the House and the Senate, put them together, consolidate them in conference committees in mid-June. And then on June 30th, my son's birthday, it goes to the governor for signature. And so keep an eye on it. There should be a lot in the news about it. And if you ever have any questions, contact us. Sorry, that was kind of nerdy, but I think it's important for all of us to know.
No, it is. And we are actually, we are going to be putting out some things this year about basic civics, and just kind of, we learned about this in middle school and high school, while we were, I don't know how much that's really retained. So we're going to we're going to put together some materials and some videos and some different things to kind of talk about this stuff. And just, it's important to be educated all the way through these. And like Jenna's saying, it's one thing for us to stand there as professionals and say, this is what our families are going through. Totally different thing for a family member, an individual standard. This is what I'm going through. Let me tell you what I am facing. And it's okay. We'll show you how to testify. It's okay to get emotional. In fact, it's good. They need to see that emotion, the legislators. So it's a critical time. Budget happens every other year. It's a critical time for sure.
Yeah, and I threw these in. This is kind of what the governor has proposed. So as you can see, the home and community-based services are going to increase to 16.5%, which is it's an increase. Okay, so that's good. We need more. We're looking for a pretty significant increase beyond that. You can go to the next slide. These are all available. We can put these all in a link for you. Just kind of gives a little bit more information, but I kind of went over it. And yeah, this is about how we want more people with disabilities on our county boards. We want people advocating for their needs, making sure that, you know, we're all being heard at the local community levels.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely. All right.
Thanks.
Wonderful. And this we're recording this call, as you noticed when you signed in, you know, but also in addition to that, we're going to put this onto our YouTube channel, and you can go through and you can hit pause and different ones. And there's different things that is we go throughout these regional. Now we're down to the regional level. As each one goes through the regional, there might be things like phone numbers or emails or something like that. More details you can certainly see it. We'll better kind of go back through it. So now the first one up is going to be Amy Mordaunt, who is the regional director of our Lake region. And hi, Amy, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm great. Sorry, I logged in a little bit late. I was on a phone call with a parent. So lots of great information, lots of great stuff coming out. So much happening. Happy March. If you didn't already say that, I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Beginning
Yeah.
of spring. Everybody knows it's Josh's birthday.
Yep,
In March,
right.
it's also my birthday. So I'm wearing my green.
Right. And it's Kara's birthday.
Here, that's right. Gosh, look at that. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to go over the counties that are in my region to begin with. And those are Erie, Huron, Lorain, Cuyahoga, Medina, Summit, Geauga Lake, and Ashtabula. So if you are in any of those counties, I have my contact information at the last slide. Feel free to get in touch. Just call, email, we'll have that information. So let's start out with the Erie and Huron counties. And often I'm finding out that those counties do a lot of things that are together. So Norwalk, I think, is actually in Huron. But I think they're teaming for this event's water safety classes starting in March the 8th, 5 to 5:30. You do need to commit for all 4 sessions. As we all know, this is so important for our kids. So many of our kids are drawn to water. Water safety is super important. So this is a great opportunity. You want to go to the next one, Josh? Yeah, so Lorain County, we've got some cooking basics, and there's a couple of dates there, March 18th, March 1st, 12 to 2 in Elyria. I know my own son, I have a son with autism, and he has been able to really increase his food repertoire by cooking. And I know that's an issue for a lot of us families and parents, is that our kids might only eat a limited amount of food. So there's a great opportunity to get involved with that. If you are a provider, we've talked a lot about DSPs and independent providers. Here's some great trainings at Murray Ridge. If you live in that area, to kind of, if you're maybe a new provider, if you want to stay up to date with some of the things that they are doing, some trainings, that information there. There's an email there for provider support at murrayridgecenter.org. So those are some Lorain. One more Lorain County coming up. This is Connecting for Kids, a local organization up in our greater Cleveland area that has so many resources. They typically serve, I think, up to age 12. So if you're a parent, a guardian, there's a resource fair coming up March 14th from 6 to 8. And that's at, I believe, LCC, Lorain Community College. Yeah, I'm getting old, so it's hard for me to read these slides, guys. That's at Lorain Community College. And what is so terrific about that is, if you can't go, they have what's called a grab and go option. So they'll put all the little flyers together. You can email them and tell them what you're interested in. Maybe it's speech, maybe it's OT, maybe it's early intervention, and they will put all of that provider's information. You drive up and they will give you that little bag of information. Same thing is happening in Western Cuyahoga County at Rocky River, and that is going to be on a Saturday, March 25th. From 11 to 1. Same situation. They offer the grab and go if you are unable to make that situation. Coming up in Cuyahoga County, there's so much, but I had to just narrow it down or I'd be here talking for hours. People First of Cuyahoga County is a self-advocate organization that actually Josh and I are the facilitators of that group. So this is if you have an adult and they want to learn a little bit more about self-advocacy. Jen was talking about being at the Capitol. I took my own son yesterday. We toured the Capitol. It was a really empowering experience for him to know, hey, these are lawmakers. They make decisions for you. Do you want your voice heard? Are you a person with an intellectual or developmental disability? We need your voice in Cuyahoga County. So my information is there. Our next meeting is March 15th. It's going to be an in-person meeting at the Parma Snow Library. I want to meet you in person. I want to talk to you about what are you passionate about? What are the areas of advocacy you'd like to get more involved in? I hear a lot of transportation. That's a huge issue that we're working to address. So come tell me, come meet me. We're going to provide some lunch. It's going to be fun, but yet informative. Milestones, an autism organization near here is having, speaking of self-advocacy, is having a financial planning for independent living. Now, this is not geared towards parents. This is geared toward individuals. So if you're a person, an individual with an intellectual or developmental disability, then this presentation is geared for you. Milestones, next one, Josh, please. Okay, in Medina County, we have a brand new, this is our second month, Medina Family Support Group. We'd love to see you there. It is virtual. So even though it's Medina County, we're opening this group up to pretty much anyone who would like to attend and feels that information would be beneficial to them. This month's topic is Introduction to IEPs. Maybe you're new to IEPs. Maybe your child was just duly diagnosed. You don't even know what the heck an IEP is. Come join us. Our parent mentor is going to talk a little bit about IEPs. We'll have some time for questions and answers at the end. It's a great group. If you're not new to IEPs, we have different topics each month. Next month, we're having an amazing financial planner. And so she's going to go over planning through the life phases, and that's our April meeting, as well as touch on some guardianship topics as well. And then at Windfall, which is the Medina County Board of DD, they're having a sweetheart dance. I think my son might want to go to this Friday, March 24th, 6 to 8:30. And that'll be just kind of a fun opportunity to go and socialize and meet some folks. For Summit County, we have inclusion days at the zoo. So we're orange. It's a free admission. We're orange and get free admission for that day for, like we've been talking about, Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. And Akron Zoo is great because it's a little bit of a smaller zoo. So if your child gets overwhelmed easily, it's a great place. And there's lots, they're going to have lots of sensory places your child can go if they're overwhelmed. So that will be a fun activity and outing March 4th through 6th. And then here's a whole calendar of events of the Autism Society for Greater Akron. So please do feel free to visit all of these individual websites so you can get more information about each of these. I know that's a lot of information just on one page, but there's lots of social clubs. There's some support groups. There's some grandparent support groups out there because we know grandparents are so important and playing an important role right now. And in Geauga and Lake, Geauga has a fun carnival coming up, and that's going to be at Metz and Baum, March 4th, 11 to 2. Looks like it's going to be a really great time. So call or visit the geaugadd.com for more information, games and food. Maybe they'll have corn dogs. I don't know. If there's a corn dog, this girl is going. And then in Lake County at Lake Erie College, there's a free presentation about linking your child's IQ, achievement, and IEP. So you can contact that's Carol Richards and Linnea Smith of North Coast Education Services will be giving that presentation. And finally, in Ashtabula County, there's Action Club. And if you've never heard of this, this is a service-oriented club for adults with disabilities. So, we always think about how adults with developmental disabilities need services, but this is a great opportunity to highlight and showcase their strengths by giving back to the community. So it's a great opportunity. So if you'd like more information on that, call Lisa Eversole and she will be able to give you a little bit more information about when they meet. Next one, it looks like March 21st. And finally, this is the thing I am most personally excited about. I have been inundated with calls on waivers lately. My son is on a self waiver. If you are on a self waiver, your child is on a self waiver, you want to be on this call. Because GT Independence, I think, is going to be on there. So bring all your questions and your concerns. That's going to be Wednesday, March 8th. I've got the link down there. You do need to register. Visit Family to Family's website. If you need me to send a copy of this to you, I will do that. Again, I have all my information there. My name is Amy Mordaunt, amy.mordaunt@thearcofohio.org, or give me a call, 216-513-1557. Okay, thanks so much, guys. I really look forward to calls, text, and emails.
Yeah, absolutely. So any region that does not have a regional director, you get me. So there's a few of them here I'm going to go through. First one's going to be the Northeast region. Here's just Richland, Ashland, Wayne, Holmes, Tuscaroras. I think I'm saying that right. Stark, Portage, Carroll, Columbiana, Mahoning, and Trumbull. That is our Northeast region. And Stark County is helping to promote that same thing, which is the inclusion days at the zoo. If you're in one of these counties here, it's not too far. It's an amazing opportunity to go to the inclusion days there, and it's March the 4th through the 6th. So it's this weekend, right? So again, you wear orange, you get in the door for free. I mean, how perfect can that be, right? So I encourage you to be a part of that and take interest in that. Over in the Portage DD side, they have a second annual Limitless Art Show, which is kind of a really cool thing. I've been looking at it. I even looked back through to see some different pictures of the one before, and it's just been a really cool thing. So if you would like to be a part of that and you would like to submit any kind of art, you have until March the 10th. So it's coming up here quickly. We also have in Portage is the swimming, and that's what I see a lot of these county boards doing. And Amy had one on hers as well there with Erie and Huron, I think it was, or however you say that. I don't say that, or Seneca, whichever one that one is. I always get that one mixed up too. But here's their swim lessons that will be coming up, and again, it's a great opportunity to it's going to be a sensory safe and understanding place. It'll be a good place to be for sure. And that is the couple of things from the Northeast region. So now we're going to go a little bit further south, going to go to the East regional update. And we have Kara Irwin, who is here. So let's welcome Kara. Kara is the regional director for the East region, which consists of these counties here.
Thank you, Josh. Hello, all. I really did enjoy meeting your son, Amy, yesterday. Drew was really neat at the State House, and he was a very cool guy. Nice to talk to him. I like talking to a lot of the different people. I saw some from our area there. We also got the privilege of hearing Zane Hershaw rock out on his guitar. And he will be coming to Belmont County in August with his whole band. So I'm so excited about that. So the Eastern region, we have Belmont, Harrison, Noble, that BHN Alliance, Jefferson, Muskingum, Guernsey, Coshocton, Perry, Morgan, and Knox. I would love it if our county boards would send me more flyers going forward into our April update. I'd really appreciate that help. So anybody on the call from those counties, I really greatly appreciate those flyers. So we have a parent support group in Belmont County that meets usually it's the last Monday of the month. So this one will be March the 27th. And we will actually be having a speaker come down from Edward Jones, and Miss Lynn will be talking to us about all the complications that families have to navigate going through the government benefits, such as Medicaid, Social Security, providing solutions for families regarding trust, special needs trust funding, working on retirement goals, and college savings. She is an expert. She has been in the field for over 25 years, helping families with developmental disabilities navigate those very complex systems. The meeting takes place at Thoburn United Methodist Church. You don't need to register. If you would need to call or email me for any details, the information is on there. Thoburn is the host, and the meeting takes place from 6 to 7. Young adults are welcome for a meetup. A lot of times the parents will want to come, but they don't want to leave their adult child at home. So we have formed a peer-to-peer support group that's working out really nicely, hoping maybe possibly to branch off and have that turn in to a People First group. So the next slide is a really cool, fun, free event here in the Ohio Valley. It is a sled hockey showdown. So this will occur on March the 12th, and it will follow the Wheeling Nailers. They will be having a fun hockey game on the ice, and then it'll be Easter Seals and Augusta Levy are coming together, and they are putting on a free inclusion on the ice. There will be sleds for kiddos. There will be adaptive equipment, walkers for anybody that wants to skate. They definitely have a lot of adult walkers to help get those adults out onto the ice. It will occur right after the hockey game. So please come on out for that. Anyway, the next slide will be our Learning Aid Ohio. I just got on the website yesterday, and it looks as if enrollment is open. This is actually free tutoring for kiddos on IEPs or 504. So the link is there on the slide, learningaidohio.com. What you'll want to do is search providers in the Southeast region and see what credentials these special ed teachers have. And the way it works, you get a bank of money every quarter, and it's virtual. You won't really, a parent won't be given the money. It'll be sort of in that virtual bank account, somewhere along the lines of $1,500. You spend, if the tutor costs $50 an hour or $30 an hour, you get more bang for your buck, obviously, if the tutor's $30 an hour, but if the tutor's $50 an hour, it might be because they are actually an SLP or have a background in ABA or just more years of experience. It will also show you how far they're willing to travel. They do like to do hour sessions, no longer than that. And the tutors that I spoke to really like to do 2 times a week. If the parent's schedule can allot that in the child's life, they will come to your home. They can meet at a library or a community center. So this slide here is just sort of showing you how it works. And again, it is completely free. And I have sent this information to all the school districts in our region, well, in Belmont County. Now, it was open for other counties, and I think they are, I would recommend everybody get on here and check it out. If you are outside of Belmont County, they are, looks like they're opening it up for more regions as well, or more counties. And that is all I have for our Eastern region.
All right, so we'll continue to go south here for the Southeast regional update. We have Ross, Pike, Scioto, Hocking, Vinton, Jackson, Lawrence, Athens, Meigs, Gallia, and Washington counties. And actually, this is where I live. I live over in in Athens. So here we go. Tomorrow, happening at 10 o'clock in the morning, is the March on Court Street, right through the middle of Athens. We march from the Baker Center. We meet there at 10 and march all the way to the courthouse. I did see a notice this morning saying, I guess we're supposed to have really bad storms in the morning. So there is a chance that it might have to be canceled, delayed, or postponed. So you can certainly look at the Athens County Board of ED's Facebook page for more information, or check it. They said they'll have an answer by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning as far as the if the event's going to happen. But it's always a wonderful time to go and a really cool thing to do. And then the over in Ross County, they're doing the same thing, which is the Walk for Awareness. That's going to happen. Actually, that is happening. That's today. That was supposed to be tomorrow. So unless you're walking right now, you're probably not going to make that one. Someone had sent that and said it was tomorrow, but it says March the 2nd. Another thing happening in Ross County is the celebrity basketball game. It's just featuring Mike Throne, President CEO of the Chillicothe Ross Chamber of Commerce. And this is a really cool, it's the Ross County Trailblazers, and they are an amazing basketball team. I've watched them before, and that'll be an exciting thing. That's gonna be March the 29th over at the high school gym. So plan to either be a part of that or go and be a spectator, and it'd be a wonderful, wonderful thing. There is a St. Patrick's Day dance that's happening in Washington County over in Marietta. And so St. Patrick's Day this year lands on a Friday. So it, for a lot of people, it's like it is on this time around. So it's free admission. You see the different things. You can email Barry Backus at wcvdd.org. And that's going to happen on March the 18th, 6 to 8 p.m. And it'll be a wonderful, wonderful thing to be a part of. Okay. So now we're going to move over to our southwest region, and that will be Jen Powers again. And so welcome back, Jen. Here are the counties that you have.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. So my counties are here: Hamilton County, Warren, Butler, Claremont, Adams, Clinton, Highland, and Brown. So like I said, I live in Warren County. So that's where I'm most familiar. Got to meet up with our Warren County Self-Advocacy Group from the county board the day before our advocacy day. And then yesterday on advocacy day, I was so thrilled to see them. I mean, everything we planned, they like went above and beyond. And I learned so much from them, and their advocacy was spot on. And you're right, Amy, transportation seemed to be the #1 issue. The good news is our Senator Wilson was excited because he's actually put together a meeting with Cincinnati Metro and trying to get Montgomery to like send their transportation people, and we're going to have a big meeting all together. And he was like, "You're from the ARC, so you're going to come to that meeting too." And I was like, "Yep, I'll be there." So exciting news. So sorry, I just wanted to say that because I forgot to mention that. But so I had to put this in here because the Cincinnati Art Museum is just doing a fantastic job with their Sensory Saturday. We go every single month to this with my family. I have 2 kids with developmental disabilities, so we love it. And they have taken everything the parents like me have asked for and done it. And they open the museum early. So the museum doesn't actually open till 11. And so from 9:30 to 11, my kids have like the run of the museum, and it is so quiet and so nice. And they have all these little exhibits and things set up. And every time we go, we have a better experience. So I really wanted to send this flyer, put this on here because it gives you every date. Sometimes we only get these flyers like a month ahead, and I love that they did this and they gave us every date so I can put these on. Jack wants to know when the next one is, so I know. So they have every date until May, and then as soon as they have the next one, I'll post it. And this is just such a great event, guys. I know even if your kid doesn't like art that much, my Jack didn't really care about it until we started going. It like developed his love of art now. So
yeah,
that's one thing. And then the other thing is I've been meeting with Hamilton County. They're doing a really nice job with their self-advocacy group. They call it A-Life, which stands for Advocacy, Life Course Planning, Inclusion, Integration, and Family Engagement. And I really like this slide. It kind of shows what they do there. They take like the personal story, and then they kind of develop how you can actually use your advocacy that you've been doing and start to help others with theirs, and then take it all the way to the top to do some public advocacy work. And it actually is really neat to see a lot of people, especially people on the spectrum, take what they've learned and start to help others. And that's why I was so excited about it. So I put this on here because it says to call their advocacy director, who's Diana Mayres on the bottom there. They're just doing a really nice job there in Hamilton County, and they're willing to work with people all over. So even if you don't live in Hamilton County, you can still call there and be part of this. They just like keep it on the down low and try to help more. They just want to like help as many people become advocates as possible. And that's what we want to do at the ARC. So
Yep.
we're kind of joining with them, collaborating and trying to bring more people in and kind of learning from what they're doing and try to do that in other counties, which is what I am passionate about and really would like to take this all over my region. There's some really great groups in my regions, but I think Hamilton's just doing a real nice job with this. So really wanted to share that. And that's really all I've got this time. I've only been checking out my region here for about a month and a half and really wanted to get other county boards to give me different flyers and things what they're doing, but I wanted to get their permission of things where they really want to be sharing statewide. So next time I'll have some more updates for y'all.
Yeah, for sure. Then we move over to Lindsay Oldhouse, who is the regional director of the Northwest region, which is hold your breath here, is a gigantic region. It's the big one, right? So, yeah, there we go. So I don't know if you want to list all those, you just want people to look at them, but Lindsay.
Well, I've practiced, so I'm going to read it.
Okay, well, there you go. Let's not put that to waste.
So Wood, Fulton, Ottawa, Lucas, Sandusky, Henry, Seneca. I almost screwed up like John. Wyandotte, Crawford, Marion, Hardin, Allen, Alglaze, Putnam, Hancock, Williams, Defiance, Paulding, Van Wert, and Mercer. So like what Jen said, if you have flyers that you would like to send me, please do, because I picked my top 3 that I thought you guys would be interested in, or we'd be here all day talking about activities.
Yeah.
So for Wood County, I am based in Wood County. I have an office at the Board of DD. So if you're in Wood County and you have anything you want to share, you want to hang out, whatever, I would be more than happy to see you. Calling All Artists, this is their first annual Twin Tech 2.0 art show. You're supposed to turn in 2D or 3D art by the 31st of March. So you will find out if you have won or get to be a part of it by April 30th. The Wood County Board of Developmental Disabilities is offering a book called When Charlie Met Emma. It's a book about making friends with disabilities at the library next Friday. My family will be there. I'm very excited about this. It's from 4:30 to 6 p.m. It's free. You can go, you get to meet the author, hear her read the book. It's going to be a great time. Next slide.
Yep. Sorry, trying to click it away.
No, you're fine. Lucas County is having an inclusion resource fair at Bowser High School. So there's going to be something for everyone. They're going to talk about the specialized school in the area, the after school activities, summer camps, transportation options, and funding organizations. So it should be a great time. It looks like it's gonna be full of info if you are looking for any of those. I know we're looking for after school activities and summer camps right now is the big theme for our family. And then lastly, Allen County, the ARC has a camp, Camp Robin Rogers. And I thought that you might want to see the dates. There's adult weekend camps. They start at 7 p.m. on Friday and they go through 1 p.m. on Sunday. It's $175 and that includes everything for you. They have June 11th through the 13th, June 25th through the 27th, July 23rd through the 25th, August 6th through 8th, August 20th through 22nd, September 17th through 19th, October 1st through 3rd, and October 15th through 17th open right now for adults to go to camp.
There you go. All right. Is that the Robin Rogers? Is that the song? Robin Rogers. No, that's, what is that? That's Rockin' Robin. That's Rockin' Robin. Okay, that's what, man. I saw Camp Robin Rogers and I'm like, oh, it's like this song, right? And I'm like singing it, right? That's not what it is. There we go. All right. Thank you, Lindsay, for thank you all of our regional directors for all that they do. And we have one last region here that is going to be the Central region, which is Dark, Preble, Montgomery, Miami, Shelby, Logan, Champaign, Clark, Greene, Union, Madison, Fayette, Morrow, Delaware, Franklin, Pickaway, Licking, and Fairfield. There we go. So this is really cool. It's cool for me anyways. I follow this guy on Facebook. Wonderful speaker. But the Trying Life course, which is actually something that some regional directors are doing, on March the 17th, Kerry Macro is going to be there. Is going to be speaking. He's the keynote speaker, and that is going to be over in Westerville. You see there at the Renaissance Hotel, again from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Charting the Life course is this kind of this program, this ideology, this perspective of mapping out the entire trajectory throughout the lifespan. It's kind of like person-centered planning, but on steroids. I mean, just a really cool, effective thing. And so I would encourage you to save this date, March the 17th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And Gary is going to be the keynote speaker, and that'll be a wonderful time. Over in Centerville at the Town Hall Theater for free, it's no cost at all. There's going to be the Sensory Friendly Family Movie Night, which is going to be the Lego Batman movie. Okay. My kids watch not Lego Batman, but they watch the one Lego movie where it has the Everything is Awesome song. That, my friends, can get stuck in your head for many days. And again, that's going to happen on March the 4th, here in a couple of days, 6:30 p.m. Doors are going to open at 6:30, movie starts at 7, and it's going to be right there at 27 North Main Street in Centerville at the Town Hall Theater. Okay, and that's the only ones that I have for the Central region. The next meeting here is going to be on Thursday, April the 6th. That's going to happen at 10 o'clock a.m. And again, it will do the same thing. We'll go through and just kind of talk about what's happening on the at the Arc of Ohio state level, the federal level, the state public policy level as well. And then each regional director will showcase things that are happening on their region. And away we go. April will be interesting because we're going to we continue to work through that budget process and what's happening through that. We also have some summer camp things. We're also going to be talking about some Cedar Point stuff with the Arc of Ohio and the April one. And so there'll be a lot of things in the April I encourage you to be a part of. If you registered for this one, you should be registered for all future ones as well, for up to 10 or up to all 10 occurrences for the Zoom call. And we look forward to seeing you next time, April the 6th at 10 o'clock. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.